What's good, everybody out there? You already know, man. It's your boy, DJ Energetic, man. And I just want to give a real quick shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Hype Magazine and shout out to Maverick Global Distribution. And I am here with another dope show and another dope artist, man. Shout out to name, my brother.
It's Greatman, Guapo checking in. How y'all doing today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. Can't be better. Wouldn't complain if I could.
So let's get to your journey in this music, man. How did basically you get started in music? I'm actually a fan. I was listening to your record with the remix, and I don't want to spoil it, but it was so dope, man. So I got to give you what props and props due, my brother.
Highly appreciate it, bro. I appreciate you. So how I got my start in music was I always been like an avid fan of music, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, my pops was a drummer, so music was already in the household, from the time I was born. As I grew older, I started, getting involved in a lot of stuff, and I, was in a lot of trouble as a youth. So I would be like, in and out of like detention centers a lot. And that's where I ended up picking up the pen, you know what I'm saying, and just getting stuff off my chest. We ain't had no music in there, you know what I'm saying? So like, I love music so much that I go crazy not being able to hear music. I'm like, man, I'm just about to start making my own songs. So that's pretty much how I got my start, picking up the pen and writing.
Wait a minute. You're telling me right now the only reason why that you really picked it up, a lot of the music, is because that it was just boredom in there, not in a bad way, but I'm just saying, like, you were like, hey, I could definitely create it, man. You got a lot of people are hitting this thing up, man. So y'all better just stay tuned to that. This boy's popular, man. Maybe a shout out to homeboy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much, what got it started, you know what I'm saying? And then, everybody, my peers, the feedback I was getting from, the stuff I was creating, it was just so much positive feedback that I just kept doing it. But unfortunately, I ain't take it serious for quite some time. I was kind of caught up in that cycle of, just constantly I get out, you know what I'm saying, and wouldn't be thinking about nothing. I'll rap for the neighborhood kids and stuff, but as far as like pursuing it, I didn't have nobody to give me no direction. So I, pushed it to the side. I didn't see the value in it. Didn't know that I could, actually like generate a living off of music. So it took a long time for me to finally buckle down and take myself serious and start investing in myself and pursuing it professionally.
How long until you actually sat there and was like, yo, I gotta do this professionally, man?
Man, I had got out from a bit about 4 years ago, right? And I had a lot on my plate. Actually, it was 5 years ago, and I had a lot on my plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had kids, that I had to come home and make sure they were straight. I had to get my feet planted, and live a different type of lifestyle. So it took me a couple years to get adjusted. I would tinker with the music. I make songs, but I wasn't really putting them out. Then, what's crazy, man, what really, put the fire up under me to pursue this all the way, I ended up catching COVID during the pandemic, man.
Oh, Here we go.
Crazy, bruh. Crazy.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
So I ain't had no health issues, nothing like that before. But it ended up putting me down all the way. Like, I was in the hospital on oxygen for 2 weeks. Had to got released from the hospital. Was still on oxygen at home. So it was pretty bad. So that kind of shook me up. And I decided, once I was fortunate enough to shake that up off of me, man, that I was just gonna go ahead first with everything I love. I was situated enough where I could finally do that. So I just did it. And it definitely took a turn for the better.
Here we are right now, Here we are right now. So, all right. So COVID made you realize that you wanted to do music, because a lot of people that I know, peers, they basically, from the COVID years, that's when they started taking music more serious.
Yeah, but I could see that being a thing, because there was a lot of sitting in the house during COVID. That wasn't what it was for me. Like it's
Okay, because
just
I want to
I
explain.
always I always, had a passion for music, but I always just pushed it to the side because I never seen a dollar from it. You know what I'm saying? So it always got pushed to the side. I was always locking in on, some things were not so, they were counterproductive, that which would land me in jail, and then like, when I came home, I finally decided I was gonna switch my life up. I'm working jobs, you know what I'm saying? I ain't had time, you know what I'm saying, at that time. Man, once that happened though, bro, it's just like, man, I'm too dope to let it go to waste, man. Like this, everything could end, you know what I'm saying, at any moment, you know what I'm saying? And I've been knew that, but for it to really like almost happen to me, you know what I'm saying, it switched up my perspective on, playing with my talent and going ahead and taking the bull by the horns and making it do what it do.
No, absolutely. I definitely understand that because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you started to see a little bit of difference instead of a lot of people before the pandemic happened, man, really weren't seeing like you see more musicians now than ever because of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Me being in the industry for almost, I'm not gonna lie, almost 20 something years. You know what I'm saying? I was in the industry at 13. Dude stepped me in. My pops was in the industry all of his life. So my
Mm-hmm.
family, so me being just in radio host and an artist too as well because I've done music. Um, I started to see a lot more. But what I did, what I liked too about the pandemic was people really were more engaged with you. It wasn't like back in the day, like not saying back in the day, it wasn't like before the pandemic. It was a lot different. You know what I mean? Like the attention, the music, the strive, and what people started really seeing what they could be doing at home.
Okay. Okay.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah. I
saying?
could I could definitely see it from that perspective too. Yeah. Most definitely. Man, the pandemic just really just shook the whole world up for real.
That was ill, bro. Dude, where were you in the pandemic? What were
What you
you
mean?
doing?
Where were?
What were you doing when they said the whole world is shut down? I'll give you one story with me, bro. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I was working a factory job at that time. The pandemic kind of like saved me for real, because I was like, working a factory job, and I was like in that zone, like where I was just cool with making somebody else rich for real. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
nah, we ain't about to do that, man. But for a minute, they had me.
I think they had everybody until everybody had more time to think. It's like, why are we making this person money when we could be making
Yeah,
ourselves?
facts,
A lot
facts.
of money in the world for everybody.
Yes, most definitely is. You just gotta, information is everything, man. You
Brother,
just
it's
gotta seek
20,
the
what is it?
information.
20 something trillion dollars, right? And there's only supposedly what 8 billion or like 10 billion people or something like that.
Yeah.
They're saying so there's not that much money in the world. There's trillions in the world, but the percentage of people who basically are living in this earth, I never understood it, man. That's why like when people ask me those questions, I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause there's so much money out there. How is somebody broke? You know what I'm
Man.
saying? But nah, I feel you on that, man, because that happened. That definitely happened to a lot of us. Like dudes went out and really started doing their own thing. But other than okay, so now the pandemic happens, right?
Hmm.
What's your single that came out of that made you like, nah, I can do this. I don't need nobody. I'm leaving that factory. I'm walking out. Let me hear this. Come on. I want to hear
So,
this story. Let's go.
what's the question now? You say what?
Basically, what this okay, so now you said you were trapped in the factory job, right? After
Yeah.
the pandemic, you just never went back.
Nah, I never went back.
So then what was the record that made you go, nah, man, I can do this. I could really make money off of this? Or was it an EP?
Nah, yeah, I didn't drop my EP until after I went on tour. So I had to say the oh man, me and one of my fellow musicians out of my area had did a song called Money Can't Buy. It's actually his song, you know what I'm saying? But the song just turned out so nice, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yeah, we can pump some hits up out of here for real. You know what I'm
I do
saying?
like
So
I like your sound a lot. I was actually listening to it and it was kind of more like uh like a bop, but more kind of like a you have a meaning through a lot of your records, and
Yeah,
I hear it.
yeah, I'm big on the message, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ain't
your
know I'm
message.
not a preachy artist by any means, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear, you know what I'm saying, my trials and the streets is in there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna give you the I'm gonna give you both sides of the story. Like I'm not gonna make it sound like this is, you know, the thing to do. Like I'm gonna let you know, like it get ugly behind that. You know, like it really ain't worth your time. So yeah,
So
I'm big on the message.
playing the devil's advocate right that in there. I love it.
I guess so.
I love it though because it's just teaching. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we call it.
Yeah,
It's called teaching.
that's what it's about. That's what it's
That's the
about
music
for me.
we grew up on, though. That's the music we
Yeah,
grew up in.
facts.
Like, even if you were sitting there and you were doing what you're doing, the dirt in the street, you would always get that message like, nah, man, don't be doing all that. Nowadays, the young guys is just go do it. And they don't even have a direction what they're doing until they get locked up or they're sitting there with, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're sitting there in a messy situation. What do you got to
Yeah,
say to that?
man, they just it's I call it crash out music. You know what I'm saying? When they just telling you to pop pills and drink lean, you know what I'm saying? Which, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I haven't indulged in that type of stuff, but it's like, man, you can't just I'm just not with pushing that on because the youth is listening, you know what I'm saying? They open ears to this music. So when especially when you buzzing and you start getting hot, like you gotta be mindful of what you say because soaking it up. And the energy you put out is what you get back, you know what I'm saying? So all that drill rap, like, I
Goodbye.
ain't knocking whoever want to make that stuff, but yeah, hey, I'm not pushing that though. That just ain't what I'm pushing.
I just feel like between us, man, we're from like the older era, kind of like the conscious era. So it's like hard for us to really get not saying into that bag, but then we just think a lot more because a lot of the drill rappers that I interview and a lot of cats that I interview, they only had that one set of mind. Like artists that
Yeah,
came, I feel like from my era want to be more creative and have their own lane. They want to just sound like somebody else and just because that's what they know.
yeah,
You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? Not dissing them, but you said you went on tour the first
yeah,
time on
yeah. I
tour.
did.
So what'd you go on tour? Let me hear about the tour.
I actually got a chance to tour the country with DJ Paul's 36 Mafia. That was just last summer. Well, the end of last summer into the fall. We toured. I got to tour with DJ Paul and Kid Kid. If you're familiar with him, he was from
Yeah, G Unit.
Cash Money or Young Money and G Unit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, man, that was a hell of an experience. You know what I'm saying? And it taught me so much that I didn't know about the business. You know what I'm saying? I really needed to experience that for real.
Well,
So
that's dope
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. Super
How far?
dope experience, man.
How many cities?
I toured 10 cities.
Nice. Where at? East, north,
Oh, we were no,
west?
we were all over. Only place I didn't hit was the West Coast, but yeah, we went through the South. We was in the South, all through the Midwest, East Coast.
You see the
You know what
difference,
I'm saying?
right?
Yeah, Texas was by far like
Crazy.
the 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 reception. You know what I'm saying? They just love them. They all about their music down there, man. Like they are like the fan base is crazy down there. I
I know.
understand why some artists just bubble in Texas and the world might not even know about them, but they find their fan base in Texas and they cool. Like they,
Bro,
that's just wild.
Texas is the biggest area. You know what I'm saying? Like you could
Yeah,
just go platinum in Texas. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? So it's like
Yeah,
people go, oh, yo, I want to be national. I'm like, bro, there's only 4 states that is rocking the most, and that's New York, Texas, LA, and I don't want to
yeah.
say the last one. Everybody says I'm always right. Atlanta.
Oh yeah, most definitely though.
You rocking those cities, and I love you, Miami, but Miami only got that small little pocket. But
Yeah, they do.
If you're in Atlanta, you're killing it. If you're even Chicago, you got to give it up to Chicago. Chi-Town
Hmm.
has taken. I was in a good discussion with Chi-Town. Even where you're at over there, over in
Cleveland.
Cleveland, man. Oh, please. Since LeBron James came out of Cleveland and since Steph Curry came out of Cleveland, ain't no more talking about basketball. Ain't no more talking about that city. That city is well revered now,
Most definitely.
very known. But
Yeah.
shout out to CH2, Charles Hamilton, one of the first rappers that put that on the map. Him and Machine Gun Kelly. I know
To
everybody don't
ever
watch it.
put Cleveland on the map?
No, made them known, like made them more relevant for, you know what I'm saying, for other people to come up. The person that put Cleveland on the map was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, Bone Thugs. Yeah, definitely Bone.
You know what I'm saying?
They
So
was
I'm
the
saying Bone Thugs and
real.
Harmony put them on the map, but I'm saying still, you still got that kid from, you know what I'm saying, Harlem, Cleveland, that still hit it up from the early 2000s, well, 2000, late 2008, 2010s.
Okay,
So
okay.
you got to give it up. That's why I always say I got to give it up to him. But
No, big shout.
so let's get back to your journey because your journey is very interesting. So you feel like Texas is that because my next question was going to be what city do you feel like in that tour was, you know, you going like, yeah, I got this. Was it in Texas?
Yeah, for sure.
I could
But I
see
mean,
that, man.
I had quite a few cities that I tapped into that they was rocking with me. But yeah, I toured. We did 2 cities in Texas, and
What
both of
cities?
them, it went crazy. We did San Antonio and Austin, which I've been back to
Ooh,
Austin like for South by Southwest and stuff. But yeah, that was Texas was just a whole different vibe.
that's where we were at. Shout out to South West. We were actually over there. So I might have
Oh, you was
actually
just
got to see a
just
little
this
bit.
past year?
Yeah. So we
Okay,
was up there
okay.
and stuff like that. Shout out to YMVS and shout out to the Fleet DJs. You already know DJ Energetic is part of both of them. And big shout out to my brothers too. I'll give it up to the Coalition DJs. Shout them out. Dope DJ.
Big shout out. Big shout out to Nerve DJs as well, because
And nerves.
they definitely been a big part of my direction with this.
Big shout out to that boy, Big Hef.
Yes, sir. That's my guy right there. He really the one that catapulted me, you know what I'm saying, in the right direction was Big Hef.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Big Hef right now, man. Big Hef's dope. We actually interviewed him in that DNA joint, man. And you know, Big Hef has a lot of experiences in music.
Hmm.
Big shout out to him. And shout out to
For
the
sure.
exact. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to both of my boys. Shout out to Big Hev and shout out to Shampoo. You already know YNVS. That's my team right there. But okay, so wait, so Big Hef was one of the people that taught you.
Yeah, he's actually the one that plugged me in with the DJ Paul tour. That was
Oh, I can
yeah.
see that.
I did my first PR run with Big Hef. That was just last year, just a year ago.
Oh yeah, no. That's the man right there. When that man takes you serious, you're gonna go. People don't
Hmm.
people ask me, oh Big Hef. I'm like, no, that's that man right there.
Yeah,
I'll
he
tell
definitely
everybody right now
deep
watching
in the
this and
mix
seeing this, that's the man right there. You know what I'm saying? So
for
big shout out
sure.
to the nerd DJs. Much love to them. But so how'd you meet Big Hef? That's a good question.
Uh, so how me and Hef ended up meeting was so I decided to take the music thing serious. We'll rewind back to that when I first started really diving deep off into this professionally. Uh, I'm trying to find my way, trying to build up a fan base and all that. You know what I'm saying? And as you know, this industry is full of deception. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing your research on who you dealing with, you subject to get scammed out of some bread, you know what I'm saying, dealing with, people who just not who they say they is. So, I went through a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, man, I'm not about to keep doing this, but I wasn't about to give up on the music. So I ended up reaching out to my main engineer here in Cleveland, Ohio, Josh Monis at Top of the World. Shout out to Josh Monis. Um, and he is super tapped into anything in Cleveland that's moving on the music side. Anybody who's somebody Josh has tapped in. He's been working with all the major artists for the past 15 years or so. I holler at him. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm serious about it. I need some direction, man. So he ended up lining up a meeting with me and Hef. We, you know what I'm saying, met like a week later at the studio, sat down, you know what I'm saying, and talked about my plan, what I wanted, my goals, and it was on from there. That's how me and Hef met.
Now that's really dope, man. Because you know, me just sitting there and interacting with him when we did the show, right? I just
Hmm.
like the way that basically he's so passionate about trying to
Yeah,
bring people out and trying to break artists. That's a real music exec.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people, like you said, that are just cutthroat, take the money and run.
yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So now there's another great question. How did you find big shout out to Chill, my boy? How did you find Maverick Global Distribution?
Yes, sir. Big shout out to Chill. Me and Chill and definitely um, built up a great rapport. You know what I'm saying? Professionally and personally. Like, I can call him, you know what I'm saying, talk to him about whatever, and vice versa. But how I ended up connecting with Chill was during the tour with DJ Paul. We made a stop in Madison, Wisconsin for one of our legs of the tour. And he happened to be there. Him and Drama G the Chief, big shout out. That's my guy too. So, we connected that evening, you know what I'm saying, after the show, you know what I'm saying. And we've been connected ever since, you know what I'm saying. I found out about Maverick Global Distribution and what he was doing with that. And, I was like, I'm gonna rock with you, man. He been genuine to me from the start, you know what I'm saying? And that's hard to come by in this industry.
Oh, word of
So,
mother, man. Word of mother. Like,
yeah,
yo, like, there's so many connivers, like fake people, man. You know what gets me mad though, too, brother, is when you're trying to do business. You know what I'm saying? And you're really trying to do business. And I don't know if you've been getting this too, because I've been getting this a lot. People just
what's
want to
up?
take you for what you got right now in your name.
Yeah, period.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Doesn't that kind of get you annoyed when somebody be like calling you to go somewhere, right? But nobody has reciprocated back to you, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, show you anything, only just keep using the name and using the name and using the name. Why don't you
yeah,
why don't you break this stuff down for people? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you just said with the scam artists and the people, you know what I'm saying? I want you to break that down for a second. Like how you not saying got messed up in the game, but how you basically found something like this with Chill and with Big Hef. You know what I'm saying? Like how
how I found it. It's all
I'm not
about
saying that.
networking.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, sorry, let me make it more clear. The difference
All right. The
between like
difference.
a lot of other people, like a lot of other like your experiences, than getting into the majors. Because now you're literally in the industry. People that want to get
Facts.
into the industry and people that can't get into the industry. Why don't you break that down? Because I'll
I
break
mean,
down my person.
yeah, you have to understand. You have to understand that the fakery ain't gonna get you nowhere. Like the gimmick stuff, like just people see through that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys, I notice like a lot of my peers, they just want to rap for the for social media. For the image, for that type of thing, and they don't want to learn the business. If you're networking and they see that you're actually trying to build up your business, because that's what this is. This isn't just entertainment. This is the entertainment business. They're not going to take you serious. They're going to probably get over on you. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're just genuine enough to walk away and say they don't want to deal with you. Um, you gotta be willing to learn, and you gotta be willing to network, and you gotta be willing to nurture and maintain relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's what this thing is really all about. You can have a bag behind you, you can have a big old bag behind you, but if you don't have no networking skills or no, it's
A
it's
direction.
not good. Yeah, no direction. You gotta have direction.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Go ahead.
but yeah, I mean, and that direction is something that I found through networking. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have all the direction when I started this. You know what I'm saying? But the people that I met, along the way, saw what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Understood, my goals, and we, you know, could help each other. And that's kind of how I just been building up. It's all about networking, though. It really is.
First off, you know what I want to tell you, man? One thing I like about you when I heard like the music, it's just so different. You don't want to sound like it doesn't sound like anybody. Okay. So that's one thing I just want to give to you. When I heard it, I was bumping it, I was playing it. Everyone's looking at me like, what are you doing? I said, bro, I said he gave me some dope stuff. Cause again, critics, you already know being in this industry, you know what I'm saying? It's just you see so much. But one thing I gotta say about Maverick Global Distribution, what I really like is that they literally have people to actually sit there, right? And go over your music. DJ,
Yeah.
a real draft pool. I've been around so many distribution companies back when I was an artist. I have never seen this.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Chill, man, because he definitely, you know what I'm saying? He definitely
Yeah.
bought
Big
something.
shout out to Chill. Big shout out to Maverick Global. Another thing that really sets Maverick Global Distribution apart from any other distribution that I've worked with is you can pick up the phone and talk to the owners. You could talk to them. You're not doing that with TuneCore or DistroKid, not to drop names, but you're not doing that with them. And Maverick also offers like artist rollouts, which is crazy for real.
That's what I
But you
was
got
talking about. Yeah,
yeah, you got to pay a little bit, but it ain't nothing crazy. Like they're just really for the artists. They're more for the artists, which
absolutely.
I really respect. Big salute to them.
So I wanted to get that, you know what I mean, for people to really hear. But I want to get to my question to you now is so this single that we're about to play right now,
Hmm.
how'd you come up with the idea? And like basically, I like the record. The record is just fire. You know what I'm saying? I heard the remix, regular record, it's just fire. Tell everybody where you came up with the music and there's what music. The idea of that record.
All right, so how I my creation process for every song is, I have different producers that send me beats and stuff. So I ended up coming across the beat for this record. I'm driving, I'm in traffic. That's when I listen to all the beats and figure out what I want to do with them. And as soon as I heard the beat, I was like, man, this just sounds like something that could be like on a soundtrack. So I gotta come universal. I want to be able to, keep this one open for sync, for movies and games and stuff like that. So I kind of like went into the song already with that mindset. And then at the same time, it had kind of like a older school vibe to it, but it's still modern beat for real. But it just had like this little sample in there, like this little vibe. I don't know what instrument it was, but anyways, it took me to that mind state where I was just thinking legend, you know what I'm saying? And then, I just started going in like I'm going legend. Big old risk taker. Pray to God I roll a seven. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it took me.
That's dope. So did it was that the first word that popped in your head when you just because I do it when you just sitting there in the car and you start freestyling a little bit into like the beat, was that like the first word that popped into your head, or were you kind of like for a minute playing with it while you were like driving and just thinking of it?
You know what's so crazy, bro? That song right there, I probably put less thought into as far as like what I was going to say than most songs I write. And the recording process was crazy fast too. I'm talking about um we uploaded the beat at the studio. I went in there and we were done with that song, done recording it within 15 minutes. Like it was just so simple, simple, you know. Process of me making that song was a lot simpler than most of my other songs, and it's crazy because I hear this story all the time about how artists their hit song they didn't even like it, you know what I'm saying, or they, you know, it was one of their least favorite songs, which really wasn't the case with this song for me, but just the fact that it was a much simpler, fast process. Like I didn't put a whole lot of, you know, I didn't put a whole lot into this song for it
That's
to
what
be what it
usually
is.
happens, man. What usually
Yeah.
happens, you be like just driving down, and then all of a sudden something just hums in your head, and then you're like, "Oh, this is hot, and this is dope."
Yeah.
Boom, 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 and then you just hit that studio, and that's it. It's magic. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what? A lot of artists do not like the song because they're forced. If if you
Yeah.
listen to a lot of the major artists, they don't like their hit records because that wasn't the record they wanted to pick. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you'll be listening to them and they always be getting mad, but that's the again, at the end of the day, there's a lot of records I can't stand spinning, but I have to spin and I watch the artists and they perform. And you can see their faces every time the crowd going. You know when somebody's into their record, their own record, they be going in like this. They be like, you know what I'm saying? Like doing like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, man, he don't like his record. He doesn't like that record spin. He's just
Hey,
doing
but at the end of the day, though, it's the people's choice, not ours, though. You feel me?
exactly. You never know what you're gonna come up with. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
never know it. Everybody thinks it's so easy. It's like, yeah, okay, you get in there and you start writing and you start going off, man. But now that's great to hear though, because
Yeah.
the best records are the ones that just come right off.
Facts. Facts. You know, it's crazy. Hef was actually the one that told me that this is the record that I needed to push for real. Because I probably would have picked something else too, you know. But that's just
You,
me, though.
you got the ear, right? You just watch him. He's doing the A and
Yeah.
R like this.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at him like, what do you mean? It's like, nah, man, that's the record you're gonna push. Here's the rollout. Here's the lay. This is where we're gonna go. This is how we're gonna throw in. This is where we're gonna lead. Oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big hef. Again,
Yeah.
in
Shout
our
out.
ear. That's dope that you got an A&R, music executive. An A&R, music executive helping you because he knows what's gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
he got that ear. They know what's gonna hit. People got to know too, man. It's always about the marketing and the promotion and the rollout. That's why, again, everybody listening to me right now, definitely go to to definitely go to. Let's say it right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna repeat this again. Maverick Global Distribution.
Yes, sir.
Because they got a real rollout. They got a real rollout for y'all.
They
You know
do.
what I'm saying? So that's a smart thing too. Did you guys come up with did you and him create the idea together, or they basically let you go with what you seen with the legendary song? Like the idea basically. I mean,
Chill loved that song. He loved that song the moment he heard it. He been telling me like, you need to come on, let's do something with that. Yeah, I'm to keep it hot with you, man. I mean, I knew we was gonna get to this, but my relationship with Chill and Maverick Global Distribution is actually how Cujo Goody ended up on the remix to that song. Big shout out to
that's
Cujo.
what I was gonna get into
Yeah,
the next. That's dope.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I guess he played the record for Cujo, and Cujo instantly was on it. Like he loved it, you know what I'm saying? And he hit me. He didn't even tell me, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like maybe 3 or 4 days before he called me and told me about Cujo, Hef had hit me and was like, Going Legend still got some steam behind it. You need to try to get a feature with, you know, somebody who's legendary on there. And it's crazy. A few days later, Chill called me and was like, Cujo want to get on that song. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, you know, already I'm for it. Like it was like just everything was just falling into place. Like it was meant to happen. So yeah, that's how that went. Cujo, you know, shot the verse to me within maybe a week of me and Chill's conversation. And I shot down there maybe like a month later, and we shot the video to it.
Where's that video based off of?
Uh, I mean, it really wasn't like it didn't like have no script to it or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We was just stumping through Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Stumping through the A. Shooting at different spots and shit.
Nah, I loved it, man. I really did. When I saw that video, I'm sitting there. Shout out to the wife. She's right here. Can't see it right
Yeah,
now. I'm right there. But
shout out.
she loved it. Like my wife is so hilarious because she be picking out like the ones that she really likes. And yours was one of them when we were playing it. She was like, play that again. Play that again. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I
Yeah,
hear one. And then when you just told me to connect with Big Hev, I'm like, yeah. That makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because again, man, it's all about the universe, man. It's all about putting good work out. It's all about, you know what I'm saying? I love the
mhm,
meaning. That's
most
one
definitely.
thing that I love with artists is, man, because it brings me back to a time when you had to be a real artist,
Facts.
meaning behind it.
Hey, that time coming back though, man.
Nice.
That time coming back. The artistry is coming back to music, man.
Mhm.
Everything comes full circle. All this stuff has been done before. Even the promoting, killing, and the music. Like I know you remember back like in the '90s, like when gangster rap was really gangster rap for real. Like all that gang banging stuff, the West Coast, all that. Like everything just it's just trend. It just rotates. So artistry coming back.
So let's get into that point right there. Lyricist, you feel like is gonna jump back into the pot now.
I
Conscience.
I do, and yeah, I definitely do. Because now, if you really think about it, like the thing with Kendrick and Drake, like that was something that we haven't had for a while. You know what I'm saying? The pot ain't been stirred up like that for a while. Like it wasn't no bars for real. It was just if I mean you scratching out. You feel me?
That's all I mean, mumble. Oh, it
Yeah,
was here
the mumbling
in
all
melodies,
that. Yeah, which I rock with the melodies. That kind of fits into my style for real. But yeah, I
that's the
feel
same.
like lyricism's coming back though. I feel like that's coming back.
Thank God, man. Shout out to him. But now let's talk about that real quick. How did you feel about like my thing? I was shocked because big shout out to both of them because they're both hip hop. No matter what, and hopefully it doesn't get to that point. That was
Hmm.
really that was just disgusting to see what happened with Rick Ross in
Yeah,
he got hit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come
yeah,
on, bro. This is just competition. This ain't nobody trying to shoot each other or get hurt. This is just the best of the lyrics. That street
yeah,
thing, to me, that's just a waste of time, man. No one's gonna make any money, and then what's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna be banned from Canada and the US. You know what I'm saying? Like, how's that
yeah,
making anybody anything? You know what I'm saying? But it was a dope battle. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, man. Big shout out to both of them.
for sure, for sure. It was good for the culture. I feel.
Yeah, because you understand competitiveness. You didn't. We don't need to be taking it back to the days of Biggie and Tupac. We don't. Just let it be a competitive moment and let Kendrick get his victory because he won unless Drake comes up with something new.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like people think because of one hit and one it's over. Dude, you can always come back 3 weeks, 4 weeks later with a banger, and then he has to respond. And Drake,
Hmm.
let's not get it twisted with Drizzy. Drizzy can make a banger anytime he needs to.
For real.
You
See,
know,
everybody get hung up on that ghostwriting and stuff. Like that man ain't got no pen for real. Like it's like they be forgetting about '09, 2010 Drizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like that cat got a pen for real.
bro, I learned about him 2005. They gave me a tape, and the tape
Uh,
was an all-star tape from Virginia. Right? I put that in. This kid spits some bars from here to left to right. That's why when everybody was like, "Oh, he can't rap," I'm like, nah, that dude can really rap, bro. I'm like, y'all crazy. The reason why I know Drake could rap is because nobody's gonna step. He has never let a challenge go. He has always responded. So you got to give it up because you know what? That's another hip hop rule. Yet he always responded. It's like he never responded. He even being on top of the plat all the way up a tie, man, he still respond. He don't care. He takes shots whenever he needs to.
Yeah,
I just I think they're all coming for his crown though.
yeah,
That's why they're all teaming up.
yeah. No, facts. You can see it. It's blatant. That's what's going on. But I mean, he had a nice run though at the top for a long time. So hey, you knew that was gonna come for you eventually. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's really gonna dethrone him though.
I doubt it too, man. It's weird because to me, right, when you see that, you're like, man, all them dudes are supposed to be his boys.
Hmm.
Now it just shows you how the industry is, where everyone's like, and then don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, definitely get tricky out here. Whew.
Exactly. But my question to you goes like this, right? Being being on tour, right, and seeing this a whole different type of vibe. What they call it? What did that like put you in like a perspective, like mindset wise?
Being on tour and going from city to city and dealing with being on the road, it put me in the mindset of this ain't to be played with for real. Because I sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, just doing that. So you gotta really stand on business and know what you going for. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause if you ain't leaving your mark, like merch is super important. That's very important, man. Merchandise is your footprint wherever you go. So you really gotta move like a business. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the partying, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's cool and everything, but if you really trying to establish something and build up on something, man, you gotta be business oriented, period. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know what you wanna leave, what impression you wanna leave on this city if you ain't never been here before. What impression? What do you want? How are you gonna make them remember you? You know what I'm saying? So it just put me in that mindset, you know what I'm saying? Now anywhere I go, I'm like that. Even if I'm just traveling for one show, like I'm like that. Like I gotta have some merch, gotta have all that, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. So that's what touring did for me,
I like that. It puts you in a business mindset.
for sure.
And then it showed you that you don't gotta worry about where you're from because there's more places that will accept you than anything.
Facts. Me being, I told you my hometown's Ashtabula, like it's no music scene there. You know what I'm saying? It's a small town, you know what I'm saying, where everything goes on, you know what I'm saying? But it's no music scene, so there's not really no support system because they ain't never seen, nobody really shake it up like that and be successful, you know what I'm saying, in the music business. So they're not gonna know how to support that until it's, you know what I'm saying, until I'm all the way there. Which, I don't even take that personal. I don't.
They just never seen it before. That's
Never
basically
seen
it.
it. Never. I be trying to explain that to people, you know what I'm saying, that get in their feelings about not having your hometown support you. Like you don't gotta, they don't have to, you know what I'm saying?
I never believed years ago when we were younger, you wanted the hometown to support you.
Yeah,
But I realized when I first went out, same thing as you, it's too big. You understand? It's too big to be the US, just torn in general, different cities. It's just too
yeah,
big to worry about where you from. They're gonna
man.
follow if everybody else does. That's how
Yeah,
I look at it.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's that's my perception,
No, I like that because a lot of people get mad that their hometown doesn't want to see them win. And it's like, bro, your hometown's never gonna want to see you win because they don't see what you see.
nah. Yeah, that's motivation. If anything, that's all it serves for me is motivation to
And I
go
def-
harder.
and I definitely feel the same way you do because I'm from a small town called Farmingville, and that's in Long Island, and it's
Hmm.
a small town. It's not even a big town, and it's crazy because you know the older heads respect, the younger guys really don't know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I don't get mad at that, like you said. But you know what? I gotta just tell you something, man. Your music journey, it, I'm just saying, it's just started from you. I can see by next year you hit me up like, yo, I just went on a 40 city tour. Be like, what? You just went on what? He's like, I just went on a 40 city tour, man. they bumping that because that record, honestly, man, is a universal record.
Yeah.
That record you could be bumping it anywhere. So, do you see yourself staying independent or going major?
Um, the way things are right now, you know what I'm saying? I can see myself staying. I mean, you're not truly independent. There is no true independence in this game. Let me
That's
get that out there. There's no true independence. You need distribution. You know what I'm saying? You need connections. You need all that. So, um, but yeah, I can see myself just building myself up. You know what I'm saying? And not signing to a major and being happy with that. Not saying that I'm opposed to signing to a major. It's just got to make sense.
Listen, I love it, man. Because you know why? You got to look at it this way, right? Shout out to the major labels, much love. But when that machine goes, bro, and you didn't do it for yourself, so
Oof, it's gonna hurt. It's
you
gonna
see it.
hurt.
You see it. It's and everyone got to realize something, man. It's not even that hard, even to keep yourself back in the. You just got to get a publisher. You just got to get a good publisher, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get somebody good, a good agent. Somebody to just keep you in front of the public's eye. That's the name of the game.
Yep. And build your community, man. Your community is what's gonna sustain you in this thing.
Exactly, man. But listen, it was a great time talking to you, my G. Tell everybody where they can find you and everybody listening to me right now on the iHeart Radio. You already know that DNA 93.7. Definitely, we're going to start playing some of his music, man. Big shout out to him. Tell everybody where they can find you, my brother.
Yeah, that's love.
Amen.
So you can find Greatman Guapo on all platforms, all social media platforms. It's at Greatman Guapo. That's at GR8, the number 8, MANGWAPO. You could also tap into my website. That's greatmanguapo.com. Again, that's GR8, the number 8, MANGWAPO. The website is the best way to keep up with everything I got going on. Plus, you can sign up for the email list and get offers on merch, tickets, all type of things. So, rock with me, get in with me.
Big shout out to him and everybody better know, man. This is your boy DJ Energetic, and we on that DNA. Big shout out to homeboy, man, fire artist, man, and definitely, man, tune in. Come and stop you playing his jams right now. Good night, everybody.
Salute.